Why young fans prefer LIV over PGA. Money, access, and social media. They said it would never happen. They said tradition was too strong, history too sacred, and the PGA Tour too powerful to fall. Golf was supposed to be untouchable. A sport wrapped in green jackets, hushed voices, and a century of rules that nobody dared break. And then, the sound of a shotgun start shattered the silence. A new tour appeared out of nowhere, backed by billions, wrapped in controversy, dripping with swagger, and promising one thing: to rip golf out of its past and launch it into the future. For the first time, young fans weren't just watching golf, they were joining a revolution. This is the story of why Generation Z has turned its back on the PGA Tour, and why they're running headfirst into the wild, unpredictable, and unapologetically flashy world of LIV Golf. The shook in the world of golf. For decades, the PGA Tour was the fortress of golf. Every major player, every sponsor, every trophy, all under one roof. The rules were the same, the pace was the same, and the presentation was the same. Until 2022. That year, LIV Golf arrived, backed by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, with over $2 billion ready to spend. But this wasn't just about starting another tour. This was about tearing down the very walls of golf's establishment. The PGA Tour didn't see them as competition, at least not at first. They thought it was a sideshow, a distraction. But LIV didn't ask for permission. They walked straight into the room, threw a suitcase of money on the table, and said, "We're not here to play by your rules. We're here to make new ones." And the youngest generation of fans, they didn't flinch. To them, LIV wasn't a threat to tradition. It was a breath of fresh air. Money talks, and LIV shouts. Let's be honest, sports run on money, and no one shouts louder than LIV Golf. Where the PGA offers prize money as a reward for success, LIV throws it at players like confetti at a championship parade. $25 million prize pools for a single event. Winners taking home $4 million checks, more than some PGA stars make all year. Even last place, a casual $120,000 just for showing up. And then there were the signing bonuses, some so big they felt like movie plots. Phil Mickelson, $200 million. Dustin Johnson, $150 million. Bryson DeChambeau, $125 million. To the older generation, it looked like greed. To Gen Z, it looked like value. They grew up watching influencers sign million-dollar deals for posting videos. They understand the economy of attention. If LIV wants the best players in the world, why shouldn't they pay for them? Breaking the chains of tradition. Golf has always been a game of patience. Maybe too much patience. 4-day tournaments, long waits between shots. Endless hours of coverage that even die-hard fans admit can feel slow. LIV took that rulebook and lit it on fire. 3-day tournaments, smaller fields, just 48 players. And the most radical change? Shotgun starts. Everyone tees off at the same time, meaning all the action unfolds at once. For young fans raised on streaming, highlights, and instant gratification, this was golf that finally matched their attention span. No more waiting for the final group to reach the 18th hole at sunset. At LIV events, the whole story happens in real time. Social media warfare. The PGA Tour has always struggled with social media. Clips arrive hours late. Interviews feel scripted. The tone is corporate, safe, and slow. LIV. They flooded feeds with fast cuts, mixed-up moments, and real-time banter between players. They streamed tournaments on YouTube for free. They posted vertical videos built for TikTok and Instagram Reels. They showed locker room laughter, friendly trash talk, and behind-the-scenes chaos. Gen Z didn't just watch golfers hit shots. They got to know them. Bryson DeChambeau, the mad scientist with his big drives and bigger grin. Brooks Koepka, the cold-blooded closer. Cam Smith, the laid-back Aussie with a mullet and a deadly short game. These weren't just names on a leaderboard. They were characters in a show. And LIV was the only network telling their story. The wall comes down. Golf has always kept its stars at arm's length. You might get a signature, maybe a wave, but real access? Forget it. LIV tore that wall down. Players walk through fan zones. They stop for selfies. They talk to fans mid-round. The vibe feels more like a music festival than a formal tournament. Live DJs pump beats at the first tee. Food trucks line the fairways. Beer gardens overlook greens. For Gen Z, it's not just about watching golf. It's about living the event. You don't just buy a ticket to LIV Golf. You buy an experience. The PGA's image problem. Here's the thing. The PGA Tour's problem isn't just money. It's identity. To older fans, the PGA is golf's holy ground, where the greatest players etched their names in history. To younger fans, it's a private club they'll never be invited to join. The rules are rigid. The atmosphere is serious. The commentary feels like it's aimed at their grandparents. LIV turned that on its head. Loud music, team uniforms, shorter events, memes on Twitter. It felt rebellious, a little dangerous. For Gen Z, that's not a bug. It's the main feature. The power of teams. In traditional golf, it's every man for himself. LIV introduced something new. Teams. Names like the Crushers, Fireballs, and Four Aces gave fans something to rally behind. Team merchandise flew off the shelves. Fans didn't just support players, they supported squads. If you've ever seen the loyalty of esports fans or Formula One followers, you know exactly why this worked. Gen Z grew up picking sides. LIV gave them a reason to pick one in golf. The controversy that couldn't kill it. LIV's biggest shadow is its funding. The Saudi government's human rights record drew sharp criticism. The term sports washing dominated headlines. PGA loyalists called it a disgrace. Politicians weighed in. Some fans boycotted entirely. But Gen Z, many either separated the sport from the politics or simply didn't let it affect their enjoyment. This is a generation used to consuming entertainment from global brands with complex, often controversial origins. To them, LIV was just golf, a different kind of golf. And that was enough. Streaming is king. Gen Z doesn't do cable. They don't wait for TV broadcasts. They'd want sports anywhere, anytime, in their hands. The PGA Tour is tied to traditional TV deals with CBS, NBC, and Golf Channel. That means commercial breaks, blackout rules, and time zones that limit live viewing. LIV bypassed all of it. Free global streaming on YouTube, Rumble, and their own site. No paywalls, no restrictions. For younger fans, that accessibility was game-changing. Star power that moves the needle. LIV's biggest weapon, stealing stars. When Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Sergio Garcia, and Cam Smith jumped ship, it wasn't just about money. It was about credibility. When Koepka won the PGA Championship in 2023 as a LIV player, it silenced critics who claimed LIV's competition was weak. Suddenly, the Money Tour was producing major champions. And Gen Z, they'll follow the players they love, no matter what tour they're on. A different atmosphere. At a PGA event, you'll hear polite applause, soft whispers, and maybe a cheer after a long putt. At a LIV event, you'll feel the bass of the music before you even see the first tee. Crowds are louder. Players smile more. The tone is casual, without losing the competition's edge. It's golf, without the stiffness. The numbers don't lie. By 2024, LIV had reached over 20 million unique viewers online. Social media engagement among 18 to 34-year-olds was 3 times higher than the PGA Tour. At live events, nearly 60% of attendees were under 35. This isn't a small shift. It's a generational takeover. The PGA's crossroads. The PGA Tour knows it's in trouble. They've increased prize money, introduced new formats, and tried to boost social media presence. But for many young fans, it feels like too little, too late. Meanwhile, LIV is doubling down. More events, more stars, and an even bigger push into streaming and social media. And with PGA LIV merger talks on the table, the future of golf could be unlike anything we've seen before. If you've been pulled into this battle for golf's soul, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with your friends who love sports or are curious about the future of golf, because this story is just getting started. Now it's your turn. Are you riding with LIV's bold revolution or standing firm with the PGA's proud tradition? Drop your answer in the comments below, and let's see which side of history you're on.